Welcome back. Here we are going to discuss the rest of the first chapter. In the last class, we discussed about photosynthesis. Here we are going to know more about the relationship between photosynthesis and respiration. You know, during daytime, plants prepare their food by photosynthesis, and in that time they intake carbon dioxide and release oxygen, right? And this oxygen, what is the use of this oxygen? Yes, we intake that oxygen for our respiration. Not only we, but also the whole animals or whole living things. All living beings intake oxygen and carbon dioxide is released. This process is called respiration. Okay, then in page number 14, you can see a cycle with respect of photosynthesis and relationship between respiration. You have to draw that cycle into a science diary. Then look at this. In your science diary, you have to write the subheading photosynthesis and respiration. Under the subheading, you have to write these points. That is, when green plants carry out photosynthesis during daytime, carbon dioxide is absorbed and oxygen is released. Since photosynthesis does not take place at night, oxygen is not released. All organisms including plants respire day and night. Oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out at that time. That means during daytime, plants absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, and during night they absorb or they intake oxygen for their respiration. Now let us discuss about a new topic, that is epiphyte. What is epiphyte? Have you ever seen Vanda? It is a common orchid present in our locality. Where you can see the Vanda? Yes, Vanda can see over a plant. They spread over a plant, over another plant. Since it has chlorophyll and they can prepare their own food by photosynthesis, why did they spread over a plant? Yes, they depend another plant for a shelter. They have thick root. You can see that root in this picture. Their root have some peculiarities, some specialties. They absorb water and moisture from the surroundings, that means from the air. This group of plants are called epiphyte. That means epiphytes are the group of plants which depend another plant only for shelter. Here there are some examples for epiphytes. Vanda is a common example and bulbophyllum is another example, bulbophyllum. Take your science diary and write the subheading epiphyte, and the definition is the plants which finds a support on other plants and grow without doing any harm to their host are called epiphyte. The thick roots of these plants absorb water from the atmosphere. Thus they prepare food themselves by photosynthesis. They find minerals for growth from the decayed bark of the host plant. Now we are going to discuss about a new group of plants, that is parasitic plants. What is parasitic plants? What is mean by parasite? A parasite. Have you ever seen Loranthus? What is Loranthus? It's a type of plant which is spread over mango tree normally. You can see the Loranthus on a mango tree. Even though it has chlorophyll, they absorb water and moisture or minerals from the host plant, that is from mango tree. These type of plants are called parasite. That means the group of plants which depends another plant or other plants not only for shelter but also for food and water minerals. Understand? Yes. When have you ever seen cuscuta? What is cuscuta? Cuscuta. It is another example for a parasite. But there is some difference from the Loranthus. The color of cuscuta is light yellow, not green, and there is no chlorophyll. So they cannot prepare their own food by photosynthesis. They absorb the complete food from the host plant. Totally depend another plant. This plant, that is cuscuta, is an example for total parasite, while the Loranthus is an example for semi-parasite. They absorb only water, not food. They prepare their food by chlorophyll and through photosynthesis. Okay, so what we have learned? Parasite, semi-parasite and total parasite. Did you hear about Rafflesia? What is Rafflesia? It is the largest flower in the world. It is a root parasite. What is root parasite? It is spread over the root of another plant, or they absorb their food from the root of another plant. So Rafflesia is an example of total parasite. Got it? So you have to take your science diary and write the heading parasitic plants. Plants that absorb water and minerals from the host plant and prepare their own food with the help of their leaves are known as semi-parasite. An example is Loranthus. Sandalwood is another example. Plants that absorb food directly from the host plants are total parasite. Example is cuscuta, and Rafflesia is also an example. Both semi-parasites and total parasites harm the host plant. They affect negatively to the host plant. Then there are another type of plants which absorb nutrients from decomposed matter, from decayed part of plants. They are called saprophyte. What is saprophyte? And are you familiar with the fungi? It's a plural of fungus, and it is a type of microbes. You can see this fungus from your kitchen. Go to kitchen and take a piece of bread and soak it into a water. Then put it for 2 days. And you can see a white coating. We can see this white coating clearly by using a hand lens, a common hand lens. These are called saprophyte. So fungus is an example for saprophyte. Yes, then you can see, or you know mushroom. What is mushroom? That is used for cooking. Where we can see this mushroom. Yes, the decayed part or on the decayed part. They absorb nutrients from the decomposed matter, and it is also an example for saprophyte. Write the subheading saprophyte, and under the subheading you have to write in point. The group of plants absorb nutrients from decomposed matter are called saprophyte. The fungi present on the Bread is another example for saprophyte. Mushroom, Neotia, Monotropa are the another examples for saprophyte. So, in this class we have been discussed about parasites, the type of parasites, that is semi-parasites and total parasite, and saprophyte. And in the case of pepper, do it is an example for parasite? No, it is not a parasite. We can learn more about these type of plants in the next class. I hope you all get an idea about today's class. Till then, bye.